Hello. What's going on? Welcome to the replay. Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby, and I am the host of this group, Spiritual. This is crooked. How are you today? How was your weekend? How's your week going? It's Monday. Monday has always been my favorite day of the week. And I know that's unusual for a lot of people, but Monday has always been my favorite day of the week because I always feel like I have the whole week of possibilities ahead of me. You know, it's like I'll go to bed on Sunday night and I'll just know like tomorrow's Monday and I've got this week ahead of me, and it's interesting that I think this today because it's almost like it's a way that I have faith in this amazingness of a week ahead of me, even if the week turns out to be total shit, but which happens, hey, it happens. But I wake up, I go to bed the next Sunday just knowing that this week is going to be amazing, and Monday is just my favorite day. I feel like there's just so many possibilities. But anyway, if you are in the replay, do me a favor and let me know you're in the replay. You can do hashtag replay faith, something like that. Make up your own hashtag. It doesn't have to be that one. And if you are joining me live, then please comment. You can comment the entire time that I'm talking. I'm going to go through my thing and ignore all the comments. So if you're talking to me and I'm not reading your comments, I'm going to read them. You just have to... I make sure to tell people this now because there was one time that somebody got mad at me. They were like, I was commenting the whole time and you weren't reading any of my comments. And then I read them all because I read them all after my spiel. And then, what do you call it? I read it later. But then by the time I get around to the comments, usually I said something and then you say something back and then I read it 15 minutes later and I have no idea what the hell you're referring to because what are you going to do? So it's, let's see, Kirsten is here. Hey, Bobby and all. By the way, this is the correct way to include salutations. You say hi to me, and then you say hi to everybody else. That's what I like. Shin says, hi, Bobby. Hi, how are you? And hi, everyone. See, I like this even more because this is two separate comments in the correct order, I might add. Bonus points for you, Shin. How's that one? Yeah, I'm here. Hey there, furry little being, and all you other brilliant beings. There you go. See, you can even give me a nickname. Ray gets bonus points. Boy, Kirsten, yours is looking pretty basic and academic, I gotta say. I'm not impressed today. I can get totally into this and just be a total dick to everybody. Yo, Bobby, and hey, everyone. There you go. All right, let's get, so you guys all got it. You guys are pros. And if you're watching my show for the first time and you think, what a pompous ass, yeah, what are you gonna do? It's my show. All right, so let's go. Avoid the faith trap. I just came up with that term today, faith trap. And I've been thinking about faith a lot, actually. I think of the word trust, and I'm going to say why I didn't use the word trust for this, and I went back to the word faith. Well, all right. First of all, you got to be in my head to understand my train of thought. But so I grew up Catholic. All right, let's just start there. If you are unaware of the Catholic Church, or if you don't know the inner machinations of it, the Catholic Church is basically it goes something like this: have faith in God. You're a piece of shit. God is awesome. You're guilty of every sin ever imaginable. You're unworthy of anything that you want. And you're probably going to burn in hell unless you're perfect. But you can't be perfect, so you're going to burn in hell. Anyway, if you're Catholic, I'm not making fun of Catholicism. That's just what I kind of took out of it. And it didn't work for me. For obvious reasons, because I just described it that way. So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being a Catholic, because it can work for certain people. It just didn't work for me. And that's kind of the way that I grew up, was with that belief system. And, it wanted you to have faith in something, but didn't really give you a lot of reason to have faith, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about what I call the faith trap and why I haven't really been using the word faith in my own life until recently again when I decided to reclaim it. Instead, I used the word trust, which is a synonym, which is okay, But so anyway, that's the Catholic backstory. This is not about Catholicism and harping on that, but the word trap, because I call it avoiding the faith trap. The trap part of this is that I believe that we can have faith in the wrong things, and faith, we can have trust in the wrong things. If you don't like the word faith, we can use trust or belief or anyway, I don't know any other words for faith, but so there's that, right? So here are my three things. Now the first two are going to kind of go together in the sense that they're faith in the wrong thing. The third one is going to be faith in the correct thing, and there's kind of a thing in the middle. So here we go. I don't think any of us want to be in your head. Okay. So here's number one. Number one is this: faith in the external. Okay, and I'm going to kind of combine a lot of what I learned growing up and then the practices that I kind of took upon myself. Faith in the external. So this could be a religious faith, meaning faith in God that is external to you, right? Not the God like the we are all God and we are spirit, but that's going to be number 3, by the way. But faith in some external God, some God high on the mountain, some God that you can't possibly be as good as, basically some judge that is better than you, and to have faith that that person or that entity or that being isn't just on a whim one day going to decide, enough of you. So that's kind of a hard faith because I'm going to do number 1 and then number 2 and then say why they're hard faiths. All right, so that's what number 1 is. It's faith in this external thing, which could be like God the judge, but it could also be other people. Faith in other people, meaning like, I'm not sure that I'm good enough to do this, but this person that I'm with can probably do it, so I'll just stick with them, Here's an example of that from my own life was when I was in my band years ago. I can remember having faith more in my guitar player's ability to bring this band to like the world stage than my own, because I didn't know anything about the law of attraction yet. I kind of understood that I was more than this bodysuit, but I didn't really have any language around it. I wasn't able to articulate it very well. And I was kind of new to music when I joined my band, but the guitar player in my band had been playing guitar and doing music since he was a little kid. So he already had like 15, 20 years experience on me when I joined the band and just started getting into music. And so for the time that I was in that band, I remember kind of being... what's the word when you sort of defer? Like I would defer the power to him, because it was like if he thought we should be doing this, it was like, well, obviously we should be doing that because he thinks that, and I would have faith that he could kind of guide us there. So in a way, it was like I kind of just took my own spiritual power and threw it in the garbage when I was around him, because I thought he knew better. And in my mind, if you're in my head, the idea of having faith in some external judge God or a faith in some other person outside of you, they're kind of the same thing, because you're not putting faith in yourself, which I'm going to get to in a minute. So that's number 1, is faith in the external, I call it. And number 2 is faith in your 3D self. And this one, I think, seems less sinister, but it's also... It's also pretty useless, because what you're doing, this is when we have willpower. This is when we have that determination. I'm going to do it, and while there's really nothing wrong with that, if you blend it with the third one, a lot of times we don't. A lot of times we're just all about this human meat suit, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to figure it out, and watch me go, and I'm going to be like this little rabbit that just doesn't stop until it happens. This is the white knuckling it thing, And it's hard, because here's what happens with faith in external, number 1, and faith in this 3D self, number 2, is one of two things is going to happen. Either one is it's going to work. It just happens to work. You get what you want, you got where you wanted to go, and it's like, this is when you see people who like win the Oscar or win the award or something, and the first thing they do is they're like, this is for God, because you got me here. Well, why did God get you there but not these other people? And why did God get you the award while these other people are starving outside in the alley of the building that you're in the middle of this gigantic city? It's like the God thing to me doesn't kind of play out, because some people are getting great shit and other people are getting shit, so it's like, why? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Or if you have faith in yourself, this 3D self, and you're like, I was just so determined, I never gave up, I never stopped, I just worked like a thing that works. What works without stopping? Like the Energizer Bunny, right? I just never ever stopped, and then here I am. But lots of people do that. Lots of people have willpower that have this determination to never stop, and then they finally stop when they're dead because it just didn't work and they died, right? So it's like, the one of two things can happen, is that it could work or it could not work. And really, it has nothing to do with whether or not your faith in the external, or faith in the God, or faith in that other person, or faith in your 3D self and your willpower were strong enough or not. It worked or it didn't work because you had faith, knowingly or not, in the third thing that I'm going to say, which is faith in self. Faith in the bigger self, faith in your spirit, your source, the God, the real God that is you. When you have that, the other two work whether you have them or not. They're superfluous, in my opinion. They might help. Now, here's the thing. It may sound like I'm being like, don't even bother having faith in those things. To me, the faith in the religious God never worked, because I was taught to have that without having the faith in the bigger self. However, for some people, you could have the faith in the bigger self, but still look to the religious God, and that might give you comfort. That might give you a way to express things or articulate things that you feel weird saying about yourself. And in those cases, anything that works for you is perfectly fine in my book. Absolutely. And it could be the same Catholic stuff that I have denounced. You might say, no, that totally works for me. And I would say, that's awesome. And I would root for you on that. I would never tell anybody to not have faith in some external thing, as long as you're having the faith in the internal thing. Because, and here's the thing that I'm really trying to get to here, is that the thoughts that we have right now, the thoughts, the things that we are thinking, and the things that we believe, they are literally creating the physical future for ourselves. So whatever things you've been thinking all day long, you're going to experience them as manifestations a week from now, a month from now, whatever. A lot of times what happens is we just think the same shit all the time, and things never seem to change. So the thoughts are the future. The emotions that we have today, right now, whatever emotions you're feeling, they are the indicators telling you what that future is going to look like. You're not going to like this future. You're crying, you feel like crap. You're not going to like the shit that you're building right now that is going to be your pretty soon future. If you're feeling better and better and better every day, then you're building a future that you're gonna really like. And that's what's coming down the path for you. And if you can learn to have faith in that, this is where the faith part comes in. Because some days you're looking at your current reality. The current reality, by the way, is irrelevant. It is completely useless as an indicator or as a structure to tell you what the future is going to be. Your current reality could be the crappiest crappity crap in the whole universe right now, today. But as long as you decide, I'm going to have faith in myself, and I'm going to just focus on the thoughts, and I'm going to do the energy work, and I'm going to meditate, then the faith part is that this future that's coming is built now. You've already created it. Just have faith in it, because you need that faith to wake up the next day and say, I'm going to do that again. Because if you do it once, and then you go back to your crappity crap thinking, you're going to have like a blip in the crap, and it's going to be like, oh, a good thing happened, but I went right back to crap. But if you can wake up tomorrow and say, today I'm going to just focus my thoughts on good stuff. And I'm going to have faith that that is helping me to structure a future that I'm going to love. And then you do it again the next day. And then you do it again the next day. And if you saw the beginning of this live, I said Monday's my favorite day because every Sunday night I wake up. I don't wake up on Sunday night. Every Sunday night I go to sleep. And on Monday morning I wake up and say, it's a whole new week. It is a new week in my life. It's a new day and a new week, and this whole week can be amazing. And what I used to do is if the week got crappy, by Friday I would just be like, this fucking sucks. But now what I'm doing is I'm having faith that really what's happening, the reason this week is crappy is because 5 weeks back, I was not focusing and having faith in myself. I was letting my thoughts be all over the place. And now I've manifested this week. Well, that's what you're doing. You are thinking and feeling things right now that will become the manifestations of your life next week, next month, next year. If you can have faith in yourself that by doing this every day and just relaxing into it and ignoring all this other fucking shit that you don't like, this other fucking shit that you don't like will go away. It will. It'll just go away. And that has nothing to do with how hard you prayed to some God on the mountain to give it to you, even though you don't believe it because your thoughts are crap. Or it has nothing to do with this person that you think is better than you or smarter than you to help you get there. And it has nothing to do with how hard you freaking worked. Because you can work really, really hard and get there, and you can work really, really hard and not get there. And it all has to do with whether you believed in yourself and had faith in yourself. That was a hard one for me because I didn't always have faith in myself. I would get caught up in the 3D of every day, and I think a lot of us do, you know. So let's not do that. How are you guys doing today? Let's see what we got. People said hello to me correctly. That made me feel good. See, a good day, a good Monday. And let me see. This caught my eye as I started. Oh, good grief. I don't think any of us really want to be in your head. Not sure any of us are ready for that. Nah, I don't think anybody's ready for that. I think this is plenty. Right? Good one. Kirsten says, it's hard to get past our human meat suit. I know it is. I'm not saying it's not. It totally is, but we can do it. I struggle with that daily. Yes, it is filled with opportunities of guilt. Yeah, you know, the whole world wants you to feel guilty, and the whole world wants you to feel like they're all better than you. It's not the truth. It's simply not the truth. You're amazing. I'm talking to all of you, and you, Kirsten, specifically. You're amazing. Everybody is amazing. And we all have the same ability to go into our thoughts and just be like, think about this. Think about this, right? Because we forget this sometimes. You could be having the shittiest experience in the whole world. Imagine that, whatever it is for you, you know, maybe you're in a fight with somebody and they're screaming and yelling at you, or maybe you got hurt, you know, or maybe whatever it is, you know, maybe you spilled your wine all over your pants. You know, I don't know, whatever the worst thing that could possibly happen to you is, imagine that happening for just a second. I know I just said don't do this, but let's just do this for a second as a thought experiment. So imagine that that's happening, right? And you know that in the moment you want to just be like, like this is terrible. But you also know that you can be that person, that observer person in your head that can be like, oh, look at me. This horrible thing has now happened to me, and my ego wants to react in this certain way. Well, who the hell is this person that is observing this? Except the problem is we don't get into the habit of being that observer person. We're in the habit of being that ego person who goes, oh my God, right? So often. And we react and we feel the feeling of that. But if you can be like, wait a minute, how am I reacting to this? And is this really this terrible? And then the hardest part is to know, maybe this thing is happening to me right now because for the past 3 months of my life, I've been very all over the place with my meditation. I haven't been Bobby says to do the energy work every day, and if I'm being honest, I haven't really been doing it more than 2 or 3 times a week, if that, And the truth is, I haven't really been focusing on what I'm thinking and feeling from day to day. I'm just kind of going reacting to this and reacting to that, and I'm in reaction mode more than I'm in deliberate creation mode. So this is what I got, and here I am today, and this sucks, but it's probably not going to kill me. I'm going to wake up and keep breathing tomorrow. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just go to bed, because this day fucking sucks, and I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll try to start the day by thinking about things that make me feel better, rather than remembering, oh, that fucking thing happened, or I gotta still deal with it, or whatever. We still gotta deal with it. Abraham says that it's like you're saying to them, Abraham, I've jumped out of an airplane without a parachute. Yeah, you're gonna hit the ground, they say, and they're not gonna save you from hitting the ground. Except hitting the ground isn't going to kill you, literally, and it's probably not even going to be as bad as you're making it out to be. Because here's the other thing that happens when we do this. I'm on the second comment. Here's the other thing that happens when this stuff happens. A horrible thing has happened. And we just play out the scenario in our head and imagine all the terrible results that are going to come from this. And sometimes they kind of happen. Most of the time, they're not that bad. The faith in the self just means that I have faith in myself, that I can start right now just channeling in my thoughts, bringing them in a little bit, and paying more attention to how I feel. Because how I feel is the most important thing. This other stuff around me is old news. I already thought this. I already felt this. And now it's just happening. Now it's just happening. The happening isn't what's going to happen in your life. What's going to happen is what you're feeling right now. But when we look at what's happening and feel bad about it, we're just creating more shit that's going to happen. It's such a mind fuck, but that's how it is. And we have to learn how to just ignore it for a little while. And then if something good happens, we'll focus on that. Then be like, oh, good, I like that. We're allowed to use good things as our focus, but we got to stop using bad things as the focus. Oh, man. All right, Ray. It's a matter of balance. Hang on, Ray. I see Ray's name. I have to take a breath. Hang on. And some water. It's a matter of balance, isn't it? Take some from column 1 and some from column 2 and a bunch from column 3 and learn to juggle and substitute as needed. I like that. I like that a lot. So column 1 is faith in the external. Column 2 is faith in this. Because there's nothing wrong with this, the faith in the 3D self. And mostly a lot from column 3, right? Column 3 is the faith in source, faith in our ability as spirit to really hone this in. But if you're saying to yourself, look, I'm gonna use my column 3 and I'm going to just be like, I'm going to focus my thoughts on something much better. But that might inspire you now to be that jackrabbit that gets back to work, You take the energy that you got from source and then you put that into the human suit work. Now it's a whole different thing. But if you're just doing the human suit work without having the energy from source, if you're feeling shitty about your life and you're just like, I'm just going to work on this and work on this and work on this until it's fixed, you're not going to fix it. You're not going to fix it. Unless, and this is the other side of the coin, sometimes your innate desires can just overcome your belief system. Like I always say, we've got this range that we live in, and this is a different daily fuel. I got to talk about this. So when desires overcome, because occasionally your desires can completely overcome, and you just get it anyway because your desire was so strong. That's an example of that, like a really big example of that. Desire overcomes. I can't write one thing and say another thing at the same time. My brain doesn't allow me to. That's like when you see the person who's able to lift the car to get the kid out from under it. Nobody has a belief that they can just go over and lift up a car. I can't. But if my kid were under it, I'd probably be able to do it somehow. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, and then do it again. You can't, because now the desire isn't as strong anymore. You need to get that car off the kid. But you don't need to get the car off the curb. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a good one, Ray. So a little bit from each column, but just make sure that you've got that faith in big self as the foundation. Then you can have faith in any other thing you want. Am I live now? Yes, you are live now. Hello, Robin. Good evening, Bobby, and good evening, everyone. See, Robin knows how to do it. She even throws in flowers. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Yes, Robin, you are as live as the rest of us. And Nathan's here. Thank you, Ray, because I am late. Yeah, that's okay. Did I miss the 3 points? I don't know. What's the faith trap? Oh, well, I have no idea where you are. So, yeah, you must have missed the beginning. Oops, I'll catch it in the replay. Okay. I'm glad you guys are having a conversation. Okay. Kind of needed to hear them in case I had some comments about it. Oh, well, oops. That's okay. Your speech is filled with... I've been cursing more, haven't I? Yeah, I know. Sorry. Does that bother you? I don't know. I just go with the flow of what comes out of my mouth. Is the faith trap when we forget to remember our source and we get sidetracked by other things like external and misguided internal sources? Yes, that's exactly what it is. So you didn't. I could have just read Robin's comments once again, even with Robin not seeing the live. That was it, Robin. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's when you're trying to have faith in other things without having faith in your source, your eternal self. And when you have faith in that, you don't need, in my opinion, to have faith in anything else. But if you do, I think that's perfectly fine, because sometimes we have faith in these other things as well, and they give us just a little bit more oomph, something else to believe in. Sometimes we still need to see it to believe it. So if we can put our faith in something we can see, as long as we've got the faith in the part that we can't see, having faith in the thing that we can see, I think is perfectly fine. It's when we can only put our faith in things we can see without putting our faith in ourselves that nothing works. Nathan says, my desire to get off drugs got me to quit. Yeah, see, that might be I don't know your story, but it could be where you suddenly knew, if I don't do it, I'm not going to get another chance. Or, it could be like, if this doesn't happen, I'll be dead. Then the desire may overcome the lack of faith that you have, that it kind of pushes you or allows you to do this big thing suddenly. Oh, all right, and Marsha's here. Hey, Marsha, how you doing? Are these your dogs? Hello, Bobby. It's been an almost 3-year journey, but I have let go of who I don't need in my life anymore that's holding me back. Isn't that great? Brought balance and boundaries into my life, and I don't let anyone push my buttons and rock my world. Even though I have free will, I have faith in myself and the divine, and I comfortably let it play out. I now have a strong belief in what my path is and where I'm headed. See, that's just fantastic. Sometimes you don't even need to see. What I like about what Marsha just said is that you don't. It doesn't even have to be like, I have faith that I'm going to accomplish this amazing thing. You can just have faith that everything's going to be cool. I'm just going my way, and everything is going to come at me the way that it's supposed to, and I'm going to like it. And if there's something that I don't like, I can remember that, well, gee, I probably wasn't focused correctly a couple weeks or a couple months back, and I can change that now. And that's it. That's all there is. Thanks, Marsha. The cursing doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes I wish those come out of my mouth when I talk. It was just a comment that crap comes up as a what? I'm trying to think of what the word is that you're not saying. It doesn't bother you. Good. All right. Well, then I'm going to keep doing it. And if it bothered you, I'd probably keep doing it anyway, because I'm just, I used to not, I don't know if you remember, but for the first several months to maybe not a year, but the first several months that I was running this group, I don't think I cursed at all on Daily Fuel. And then all of a sudden I let one fly, and I was like, bah! And it's not that I'm a prude or that I don't curse. I curse a lot in regular life. But like, I go to the bank, I'm like, give me a fucking withdrawal slip, is what I say to the teller all the time. That's how I speak to people. And but could you imagine? But then people in the group were like, I like when Bobby curses like that. And I was like, all right, cool. Because to me, sometimes I have to hold it back to not. Because when I get going, I just talk. So anyway, that's the last comment. So let's be done. Ray, you get the booby prize today. I don't remember you getting the booby prize ever, because usually you comment a lot in the beginning, but not at the end. So this is a nice surprise. So you get the booby prize today, Ray. And today's Monday. We got a whole week of Daily Fuels ahead of us. And if you're unaware of what I'm doing right now, I'm doing a launch for my business. It's my 25th anniversary launch. I've been in business for 25 years, and I have two premium courses that I have. Is the Spiritual course, which I've created from the best of Daily Fuel, and I have my Be a Rockstar course, which is for spiritual entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in those, they're both 25% off right now, all week until next Monday, May 2nd. I see a whole bunch of comments coming in, so I'm going to get to them in a second. But I just wanted to add that, and if you have a chance, go to fuelblue.com, please, and just check it out. See if it's for you. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. There's no pressure to do anything, but I would appreciate it if you at least took a look at it. I'm also offering for a very limited time coaching. Now, for those of you who've been on Daily Fuel for a while, you've heard me probably say a million times that I'm not really interested in becoming people's coach, and that's the truth. But I did want to do a coaching program for the launch because I was hoping to find a few people that might want to work one-on-one with me for a few weeks. It would help me to really hone in on the topics and the language that we're using for the issues that we're facing. I want to bring Daily Fuel and everything to a new level, and I feel like some one-on-one work might help me do that. So it's an experiment to see if I like it. I'll keep doing it. If we don't like it, I won't do it anymore. This might be the one and only week you have in the whole universe to hire me as your coach, and it's a 3-week session for $333. So I tried to make it as inexpensive as I could. Okay, that's it. Enough of the sales pitch. Let's get back to the comments. I read that one. No, the word crap comes up as profanity. Oh, okay. I just like freedom of expression. Yeah, me too. You know, I'm fine with however people want to talk. There's no what do you call it? I find it very interesting that 2 comments recently in the group have been taken down by Facebook. And because they were violent, and they had to, you would have seen them as violent if you read them out of context. But if you read them in the context of the conversation or the post, they were clearly not violent at all. And I just thought it was kind of funny that Facebook's like, oh, they're not allowed to say that. And I was just like, what? Did you read it? Because that's not what you think they said, is not what they said. So sometimes words can just be like, have different meanings. Robin says, I was a bank teller for many years. Were you really? Well, give me my fucking withdrawal slip. Damn, I've been waiting all day. And if someone said that to me, I know. I would never say that in a public setting. Ha 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 ha. Kirsten is cursing. Okay, Ray, you still get the booby prize, by the way. I'm not taking it away from you. You deserve the booby prize. I appreciate it. But Kirsten, you can have one too. All right, guys, let's be done. Thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.